Let's preview a little of this Miami and Notre Dame. It's going to kick off on Sunday, and both teams have a really solid class. Obviously, Miami anchored by the Jackson Cantwell commitment. Notre Dame is stacked with playmakers. But tomorrow's game is in Coral Gables, and we expect some big-time names on the sidelines. What are you hearing?
Yeah, so Miami, number 11 ranked recruiting class right now per Rivals. They have a lot of flip targets coming on the campus, and talking to sources around the Miami program about recruiting. They just want to play some games and then see what happens with some of these top recruits, right? You have James J.J. Johnson, number one defensive lineman in the country, currently committed to Texas. I think Texas has the best NIL offer on the table. I think that is something that's incredibly relevant in this recruitment. But Miami and Florida remain in the picture, and he likes what he's hearing from both of them. So we'll see what happens this fall. Derek Cooper, same thing, right? I think Texas did a good job on the NIL front, but certainly the way they've developed running backs in Austin, the offensive style of play, Steve Sarkisian's history, they have him in the fold right now. But Miami playing the long game with Derek Cooper. Nolan Wilson's going to be a tough flip from Alabama, but he's going to visit Miami twice this month. And again, Miami wants to play some games. Alabama played a game today, right? Didn't go the way they wanted it to. Miami hoping to get a big win in front of Nolan Wilson on Sunday. Then they'll get him back for the Florida game and look to do the same there. Calvin Russell looks like a long shot right now, talking to sources around Calvin. But again, Syracuse played a game today. Miami plays a game on Sunday, and we'll see how that goes week to week. Justice Fitzpatrick, another long game play for the Hurricanes as they try and flip some of the nation's best players in the country. Louisville running back commit, the Tompkins kid from IMG Academy, Lecky Thompson. They're recruiting him. Kamani Morales is a linebacker committed to Georgia Tech that they're in on. Jacob Curry, who decommitted from Northwestern on Tuesday, is an in-state player that's also looking at Oklahoma, among others. So Miami, they want to add a lot of guys to this 2026 class, but they want to go out there on the field and prove that this is a program ready to take another step, win the ACC, get into the college football playoff, and see what happens there.
Yeah. And then from a Notre Dame perspective, I know they're not going to have recruits on the sidelines, but man, coming off of the season that they had last year, they're recruiting at a level that we usually see Notre Dame kind of fizzle out, maybe a couple flips here and there, but they seem like they are on a tear. And if they win this one, they could continue to stay aggressive on the trail.
Look, Notre Dame's about done in the 2026 class unless there's a major flip out there, someone comes back around that they missed out on. But this is arguably the best defensive line class in the country, led by edge rushers Rodney Dunham and Ebenezer Ewatati. It's looking like the best defensive back class in the country with guys like Joey O'Brien and Kerry Adams. Certainly one of the best tight end classes, led by Ian Premer. Preston Frizel is a really good player. And then offensive line, every year Notre Dame recruits one of the best offensive line hauls in the country. They have guys like Grayson McHugh, Gregory Patrick in the fold. And what does this add up to, Josh, just for Notre Dame to continue to play the style of ball that they play year in and year out? Aiden Pouncey, another massive recruiting win in the secondary for them out of the Sunshine State. The way they want to be dominant on defense, you got to have versatile guys in the secondary that are instinctive, can make plays, can do a lot of things from a matchup perspective, erase mismatches. They have that in this cycle. They have guys in the secondary that can come up around the line of scrimmage and then make plays behind the line of scrimmage to get offenses off script. Yeah. Those pass rushers. We haven't seen Notre Dame recruit pass rushers like this. We've seen Notre Dame develop some really good pass rushers over their time, having them in their program. But they have two exciting pass rushers in the fold, along with defensive lineman Elijah Golden and Tiki Hola. And they went out and landed some of their top receiver targets, guys like Kadon Finley from Texas. Bubba Frazier can really run out of the Peach State. Braden Robinson's kind of an electric slot guy. Chasten Smith's another corner that was a big recruiting win for them. So Notre Dame to get out fast against Miami on a Sunday night standalone game, coming off the national championship, which really, that college football playoff run really elevated Marcus Freeman in the sport, turned him into a household name. Now, anytime a recruit gets a call from Marcus Freeman, here's the guy they saw on TV going to the playoffs, taking Ohio State to the brink, a guy that's got Notre Dame back in contention. He's eloquent. He's obviously TV friendly. And now these recruits They really know him. To go now beat Miami in a standalone game, and then in a couple weeks they get a bye week, and then they get Texas A&M at home in prime time, which is going to be a major recruiting weekend. That is going to be a ball game that we're going to be talking about a lot on Recruit Reaction that week. But first, it comes with Miami. Can they beat the Hurricanes? Start 1-0, go into their bye week, then have Texas A&M at home at night. That is going to be huge for the Irish.
Yeah, and like you said, in these standalone games, it might be in Coral Gables, and they might have the recruits on the sidelines. But all eyes are on this game, whether you're sitting in your living room or if you're on the sideline. If you're a big-time recruit, you're watching this. So that's a great breakdown, a preview of tomorrow's Notre Dame-Miami game down in Coral Gables.